We are here live in San Francisco at SalesHood Live. I'm with my friend Bruce Campbell from Sage Intacct. Bruce, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
It's always great to have very experienced and smart enablement professionals to come share their wisdom. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my background is business and marketing, and I'm a 20-year product marketing veteran, and realized back in those days when enablement wasn't really a thing that was a separate discipline, that the part of my job in product marketing that I enjoyed the most and did the best was working with field sales on the message, on the story, things like that. So when it did become its own discipline, I jumped as fast as I could, and I've been here for about 7 years.
No, that's amazing. I love the intersection between product marketing and enablement. I think every product marketer really needs to own enablement, and here you are.
Well, nice to be in the position I'm in right now.
It's
in the place I'm at.
Sage Intacct. What an amazing the last 12 months. So what's the energy like over there?
It's unbelievable. Really incredible to have that all announced at our sales kickoff in the first hour and a half last July. It literally went right up to the last minute, and when somebody got a call in the room, our CEO got the high sign and pulled me out on stage and said, "Here's a USB stick, go put it in, I'll tell you when to show it." And
oh my God.
What are you doing? And the news was fantastic, and we've been completely excited about being part of the Sage family, about having all of our equity and our interests go more public. And they have been fantastically supportive of us and have been sort of leaving us alone, and have actually said they want us to do what we do and continue our culture because they want to learn from us. And what a great position to be in. So we're all totally excited about that.
Oh, that's great. We've been learning from you a lot over the years. It's been great. We've been working
together.
It's
been vice versa.
We've been working together for 3.5 years. We've been at a number of different companies, and now Sage Intacct. It's amazing. I think. So tell us, what does enablement mean to you? Like, how would you define sales enablement? I think there are a lot of people out there that really, Anyway, tell us.
Well, to me, it is the practice of being able to provide information to the sales professional that is correct, valid, relevant, and timely. Mm-hmm. And if you put all four of those things together, and they've got the information they need in order to be a better sales athlete, we've done our jobs. Now, there's nuances of that, right? And it depends on what kind of content they need, because if they're brand new, then they have to start sort of crawling before they run, and that's why onboarding and having tools like that are available. And if they're a veteran, then they need to be able to reboard when new information comes down from product or campaigns or competitive or whatever is in play. And being able to get them that kind of information the way they want it in a timely way is really what it's all about. And the thing that we've really leveraged in how we approach this is to weave a thread of common sense through most every initiative that we do. And since I've been there, it's been a little under 2 years. I'm a team of one on the direct sales side.
You're hiring, right?
And we are growing. Yeah, it's really fun. So we've seen a lot of great candidates, and it's imminent that I'll finally have some help over there. But we've had to pick our projects, with some thought in it. And the ones that we picked have basically been based on what common sense tells everybody they should be doing or they should be striving for, and just need a little bit of a different kind of foundational story around how to understand what we're trying to do and how it will benefit them. And that has worked great. Plus having tremendous executive support helps a lot.
Right, you've got from the very top, you've got CEO, sales leadership. Kathy's a huge supporter, and it's great having. So give us an example. What common sense, like what does that look like?
Well, there are initiatives that we put out that are either just simple and basic, such as we've got a new product release coming, or there's been movement in some of the vertical industries that we're selling to, and we need to find a way to be able to educate you on those, and then be able to understand what that means, and then use them in context. And the old days of just sending an email out and enabling someone and feeling in product management, product marketing, finally got sales enablement done. Well, we all know that it only lands as much as it does, and giving them a chance to be able to show what they've learned and then use it in a use case that their peers can then learn from and also gauge is super important. And that's really the key value that the foundation for sales enablement that we've chosen SalesHood really brings. And so it's just common sense that you would want to tell someone and then have them tell you back what they just heard.
It's common sense.
And
Makes sense.
And that's where we started, and we now use SalesHood for a variety of things, from onboarding to certification and pitches to having managers actually doing their own department huddles for information that's internal to their group. We're going to be looking at your content management very soon. We're going to use access to general pieces of arbitrary training, and you did a bunch of great upgrades with the last release that allow us to do that to our vision. So as long as it makes sense and it's not rocket science that we're giving them, adoption is high, production is easy, and SalesHood really leads the way for us.
No, it's great. So I love common sense. It's a great theme, and I think that's a really good lesson for all the enablement professionals that are out there, the new ones and even the veteran ones. Let's be commonsensical about the things that we're rolling out and the content that we're building. I got another question. Sure. How do you make your enablement fun? I've seen you do some fun stuff.
Well, I do believe in the ideology that if you bring in a sense of humor and sort of lightness to what your goal is, number one, it will be retained a lot longer. Maybe my brand takes a little bit of a hit for doing it, but number two, they will realize that we're not trying to get to Mars here. This isn't about curing cancer. This is about making the sales teams better, faster, stronger, smarter, more equipped, etc. And while that is a huge goal for our company, if they find it to be too difficult or too dry or too academic, they're gonna not feel as good about it as if we have a game show that helps to retain some of the stuff that we're talking about, or whether or not we bring a musical act in that is involved in this, or we actually do skits or video requirements of people to sort of show their creative side. So it's a big icebreaker. It helps them have fun with it, but it also accelerates the learning, which is really what it's all about.
I think it's pretty amazing. We have a product marketing executive who, 20 years as product marketing, embraces enablement, uses a common sense perspective, and makes it fun, creative. You personally, you also play music.
Well, I am. I've been a musician since I was 8, and I've been playing professionally since I was 15. And I try to fit that in as sort of my secret second job now and then. And when the two intersect, my job and my musical career, it's a lot of fun. We had a little of that happen at kickoff last year.
That's great. I think
it helps keeps the creative side of me going as we try to roll out something that we want to not make as academic.
I bet you your salespeople and all of the folks that are the recipients of your great enablement program, the foundation that you're rolling out, I bet you they're appreciative.
Yeah, the feedback has been very good. The one thing that you can count on the sales teams at Sage Intacct for is transparency. Yeah. So when something doesn't really work for them, they let us know, which we are absolutely very fond of, and these kinds of debriefs are very important to us. So
that's fab. What kind of results have you seen in your? So you've been there almost 2 years, right?
Almost 2 years now, yeah.
And what have you seen? Like, what's been some of the greatness that you've accomplished?
Well, we've gotten our SDR team on the phone and dangerous and making quality calls on the Monday of their 3rd week.
That's amazing.
And that was a goal of ours. And
2 weeks of onboarding, and then boom, they're on the phone.
Right. And what we've been hearing from the management team on that side is just fantastic. They're feel confident. They feel comfortable. They don't mind making mistakes, because that's part of our culture, that you can learn the most from the things that don't go exactly right. And that has been a fantastic metric for us. We also have a feeling like our remote staff doesn't always have to feel like they're not part of the whole. Because face it, when you live in Memphis or Chicago or something like that, and you're based in the Silicon Valley, sometimes you feel like you're a forgotten soldier. And by bringing them in and streaming our live meetings and involving them in our certifications and our pitches and the new things that we're doing, and by having a great relationship with product marketing that has sales enablement coursing through the veins of all that, it really helps everybody feel part of the team too. And we've had a lot more teamwork-oriented, soft skills.
It's great. Sounds like a great culture.
It is really an amazing, best I've ever experienced in like 35 years of working. Yeah.
That's great. So training, onboarding, certifications, pitches, content, you've got great executive support. I really love what you're doing with your managers.
Oh, yeah.
It is truly it's very forward thinking, and the way I describe it, or the way I think about it is, you've got managers coaching managers. Tell us, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Well, it would be really just irresponsible to not include some sort of sales management enablement inside a general sales readiness foundation and scope. So over the last couple of kickoffs, we've included some management training, mostly in the area of coaching employees when they've either got a performance problem, or they've got some personal things going on, or their execution is not quite right, or there's a variety of issues that could happen. And being able to say and show and believe the right things in those situations, particularly in the sales world where everything is at stake, is really important. So we decided that we would circle the wagons and come up with a strategy where we could work with our sales managers, and especially when they're fairly new to the sales organization, give them some of the training that they need, again, based on common sense, right? Doesn't make sense to make everybody an exact robot of yourself.
Right.
Doesn't make sense to tell everybody firmly how wrong they are if they're not working well. So the coaching side of things should be two-way, and we decided to take some coaching training at our last kickoff, and the results came back from the sales teams as very positive. So we're moving that forward in developing a culture of coaching that is based on being able to choose one of 5 hats that Matt Cameron taught us about. Thanks for that lead.
Frontline boot camp.
Frontline boot camp, exactly. And
Plug for you, Matt.
And he's been terrific. And so we now have a goal assigned to every manager, whether the frontline all the way up to the senior vice president level. They'd have to have at least 2 coaching sessions a month with their employees. And if they have the right coaching session and they sustain this kind of partnering, enthusiastic coaching, and that I'm here to help you be better and not waste your time, the results so far have been very, very, very positive. And we actually had a discussion about how we were going to track this and how we were going to monitor it from the executive level. And I teed up SalesHood as somebody that I was pretty sure could help us build a coaching session, tracking session, huddle, if you will, that allowed for vertical visibility. So the very top senior vice president could see all of her managers and all of their managers, and then all of their people and what they were all working on. But it didn't work the other way, so that someone on the front line could see what some manager in the second level was talking about his or her colleague.
Yeah.
And Tate Hendrickson, our customer success manager, has been phenomenal.
Way to go, Tate.
Helped us to figure out how to use the SalesHood huddle hierarchy to put this in, and I'm happy to say that we threw a training together and had the manager start in production this month, and it's going great.
That's
and
great.
We only hope for more of that kind of success.
So we have managers that have a quota now.
Sure.
Of the number of coaching
That's right.
sessions.
They can have more.
They can have more, but they have to actually report.
Have to actually have 2, and it's a very simple form. It just says, what did you talk about? If there were issues, what was the basic nature of those? If you did have to coach, what was the hat that you primarily wore?
Yeah.
And there's 5 of them with definitions. Or was it other? And, when are you going to meet next? That kind of thing.
Just a common sense
Totally
sales
common
management
sense.
coaching framework.
Doesn't take long to do, but has everything to do with visibility and transparency, so that we know that
Managers come in, they log some of their coaching calls and meeting sessions, and then their managers give them feedback.
That's right.
And then the managers
And then the
give
managers can coach the managers on the front line, and then Kathy can coach the second line. So
Wow.
it's so far it's working out great, and it's not that intrusive, right? We're all trying to do any kind of touches are done in 15 minutes or less on this type of thing. So as you get forward into this, maybe that will move forward and down the line, but ultimately, simplicity and common sense rule the day at Sage Intacct Sales Enablement.
That's a great way to wind this down. Creativity, common sense, fun, bite-sized, micro coaching.
That's right. That's what we're trying for.
What? Last question.
Yeah.
So we have a ton of people in the workforce, and we want to bring more people into our enablement profession. What would you pitch them? Why should they choose enablement as a profession?
It's
All these
easy.
new people.
It's easy. At least it's easy to me. If you start in sales and understand the sales animal, and as you become pretty good at it, and they want you then to share that with other people, usually in a sales management role, if you find that you're enjoying the management and mentoring of these people and bringing them up to speed more than you actually enjoy the selling end of things,
There you go.
you could be a perfect candidate for sales readiness or enablement.
That's amazing. Great advice. So, you know what? The world is looking for more enablement professionals, and we're super grateful and super lucky to have someone like Bruce share his story and his experiences. Thank you so much.
It's great to be here with you, and SalesHood is our enablement foundation, and will be for as long as I can see.
Thank you. Signing off.